brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Not a bad way to start. You see a lot of beef up front for that defensive line. Start getting them going east and west. Make them big guys out there start running. 3rd, 4th quarter comes around, they're going to be tired down. That's when you can take it to them right up the middle.
And we do have a hot one here tonight. It is warm, it is muggy. Marcus Brown in the backfield to Taylor's left. Marcus gets to give up the middle. He gets through the line of scrimmage to the 30. Marcus Brown out to the 35 and close to a 1st down.
A nice right off tackle there. Hole opened up for him, hit that little crease. Looks like he's probably going to be about a yard short, possibly bringing up about a 3rd and 1 here.
Third down and 1 from the Raider 34-yard line. Opening possession of tonight's contest. Marcus Brown lines up to the right of Elijah Taylor. Taylor in the shotgun. And give up the middle to Brown. He's met in the backfield. He's going to be dropped for a 3-yard loss. And that'll bring up a 4th down. Actually a 1-yard loss on the forward progress. 4th down and 2.
Can't blame the call there. 3rd and 1. You want to establish some dominance up front. Unfortunately, that Massillon defensive front, a lot of penetration, dropped him for a loss on that play. Looks like defense is going to have to come up with some stops here, get the offense back out on the field.
Kevin Stouffer, number 20, in to do the punting chores. Big rush. Kevin gets that punt off. Nice punt. Fair catch.
That's free.
And that ball bounce.
That's ours.
That's going to be Raider football.
That's ours. He was close to the sideline. I think they called him out. They called him out around the 31-yard line.
I think they'll call the muff on that. Harding on the big turnover to start this ball game. 1st and 10 at the Massillon 32-yard line off the muff punt.
Looked like there's lack of communication back deep for the Massillon return team. Had the up man come back for it, just like an outfielder. One of you got to call it. Bounced off, looked like the helmet of the up guy. Harding right there to jump on it. First turnover goes to the Raiders. Let's see if we can capitalize on this.
Looks like they're going to spot the ball at the Massillon 35-yard line. Raiders 1st and 10 at the Massillon 35. First big break of the game goes to the Harding Raiders. Taylor sets back a pass. He looks left. He's firing that sideline. And that ball is caught in the 6 yard. Touchdown, Harding Raiders! 35-yard pass.
That looked like that was number 3, number 3, Ty Artis on that reception.
Elijah Taylor to Ty Artis. 35 yards for the Raiders.
Drop back, saw the one-on-one coverage out there, threw it up. He went up, made the play. The quarterback kind of stood there, dumbfounded, and ran in for a touchdown. Great way to take advantage of that turnover and capitalize. Great momentum builder for the Raiders.
Noah Murray in for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. And the Harding Raiders out to a 7-0 lead with 10-11 to play in the first quarter. Jumping on that big break, the fumble off the punt.
Yeah, just exactly what the Raiders needed. Came out their first 3 plays, tried running it. Not one nice play there, got that 7-yard, 8-yard gain, ended up getting stuffed. But taking advantage of that turnover early like that is great. Is going to be a great momentum booster for the Harding Raiders going forward. Get that offense off the field, bring the defense on, ready to go. Let's see if we can get a 3 and out, get that offense back there, build some more points up.
Noah Murray back on to do the kicking. Murray had a great week last week, 8 for 8 in extra points, and I think he was perfect in week 1 against McKinley with a couple of field goals.
Yeah, last week was a pretty easy game for the Raiders, the 56-0 win over the Rhodes team out of Cleveland, but some of the some of the positive notes that you could take away from that other than the score was things like your kicking game. 8-8, as we talked about before, having confidence in your kicker going on the stretch of those close games is a great positive to have in high school football.
Murray with kind of a short kick. Ball goes out of bounds around the 20.
You don't want that to happen. It's going to be a penalty there. I think they're going to take the ball around the 35 for that. But as we saw last week, it looked like he was practicing those in-between kicks. Once the Raiders almost got to it, the second time the Raiders were able to recover that kickoff. So you could tell it's kind of a lead up to this game, just keeping them thinking out there, keeping them rushing to the ball. Unfortunately, that one a little too far, went out of bounds, going to be a legal procedure penalty.
And that's going to give the Massillon Tigers good field position at their own 35-yard line. Massillon led on their field by quarterback number 5, Aiden Longwell.
Once again, Massillon does not lack for size at the line. They're averaging around 300 across that, about 290 across that offensive line.
Longwell steps back to pass. He's got a man open. Overthrows him. Looking for number 9, Jaden Ballard down the middle.
Ballard had a couple steps on the corner there. That's something that you know Massillon's going to keep in their back pocket.
Massillon coming out trying to quiet this crowd down quickly.
Looks like they're going to run a hurry-up offense here.
2nd down and 10 at the Massillon 35-yard line. Longwell with the snap. He fires left. He's got a man over on the left sideline. And again, that's Ballard. Ballard fights ahead, close to a first down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Big play early on for the Harding defense. Third down and 3 at the Massillon 42-yard line. There's a handoff up the middle, and he's been in the backfield, stopped short of the first down.
Great technique up front. That standard 4-3 defense we've seen out of the Raiders these last couple weeks. Able to get past those big guys on the line. I think that might have been a stop for a loss.
And that Harding defense forces Massillon into a 3-and-out on their first possession. High short kick. Fair cut at the 28-yard line, and Harding once again will get decent field position.
First 2 possessions, they've shown kind of an equal balance there of run-pass, really keeping the defense on their heels. We'll see how they elect to come out with their third possession now. It is of the first quarter.
Harding Raiders 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Taylor in that familiar shotgun. He's got Marcus Brown to his right. Taylor looks near sideline. He's got Tyreek Ivory. Ivory hit hard at about the 34-yard line. That looks like that's where they're going to mark it. Pickup of about 4 or 5 on that play.
Tyreek Ivory had a big game against McKinley. A couple touchdowns, showed a lot of speed out there. Looking to see a lot of positive plays out of him tonight as well.
2nd down and 5 at the Raider 34-yard line.
So Ivory proved to be a deep threat against Rhodes too. I believe he caught that 50-yarder as well against Rhodes.
Taylor over the middle. Oh, little miscommunication. Looking for number 6, Davion Burgess right there.
Looks like he had Burgess. I believe he was coming out of the backfield up the seam. Didn't get his head turned around quick enough. He'd have caught that. He had some space in front of him, one man to beat. That could have been another one to the house.
Makes it 3rd down and 5 at the 34-yard line. 8:26 to go in this first quarter. Harding out to a 7-0 lead. Marcus Brown, the lone back in the backfield. And there's a handoff to Brown. Brown gets around the end, up to the 40, close to a first down. We're going to see where they mark his progress, and it looks like they're going to give him the 40-yard line. That's a first down, Raiders.
Yeah, it's going to move the chains there. Marcus Brown was able to get outside. He had someone try to give him a move. I think he's going to learn that when you get to that point, that's when you just got to put your head down, deliver the blow for a couple extra yards. Luckily, they did give him his forward progress for the first down there.
1st and 10 Raiders out to their 40-yard line. Ivory and Artis lining up left, up the top of your screen. And Taylor sets back to pass again. He's got a lot of time out there. Over the middle. He's got Davion Burgess for about a 4-yard gain.
That offensive line holding up for Elijah Taylor and had all day to throw, kind of scan the field. He's able to come back to his check down man. Give him a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. Hey, 4 yards of play will win you a game.
Absolutely. Burgess and Arnold line up down here on the near sideline. 2nd down and 6 at the 44-yard line. Taylor with the handoff to Brown. Brown fights his way for a couple. And he's brought back by a host of Tigers. Pickup of about 3 on that play. Brings up a 3rd down and 3. Still positive yards there, Ed. That's a good hard run.
Yeah, good hard run up the middle. You look at this depth chart and you can tell Maslin definitely has the size up front, but Harding able to use their strength and speed to open up those holes for the running backs to get positive yardage.
Oh.
No neutral zone infraction. You got to reach and tap him. He jumps
close.
over the line like there, reach out and tap him.
Awful close. And there's a handoff once again to Brown. Brown fights ahead.
Now he's going to be short by about a half yard maybe. Interesting situation for Steve Arnold and the Harding offense. First quarter, 6 minutes left. He's about maybe 6 inches short. You wonder if this is a time where you want to bring back in the big back Elijah Smith out of that I formation and just pound it ahead on him.
You
it looks like that's what they're doing.
4th down and inches. And it looks like the Raiders are going to go for it early.
I don't think Maslin watches WSCN, right? They're not going to know the play call.
Let's hope they don't have their feet going on over there.
It's like they're probably going to let that clock run down, call a timeout, make sure they got the right personnel in there. Big play here in the first quarter. Want to make sure you get everything right.
And you called it timeout Harding with 5:31 to play in this first quarter. Harding out to a 7-0 lead on a 35-yard pass from Elijah Taylor to Ty Artis off the muffed punt. Moving the ball right now, 4th and inches, talking over this 4th down play.
Yeah, the fans here at Molotov have to really like what they've seen out of this Raiders team on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Raiders able to get a 3 and out. Then able to come down after that muff punt with a quick bomb down the sideline from Elijah Taylor to his receiver. Now they face a critical 4th and 1 here at the midfield point. Don't put out of your mind. We've seen that Maslin defense has been eager to get across that line a couple times. Been short of being called on offsides, but you might see a hard count. Get yourself a free first down here. If not, I like to see Elijah Smith straight up the middle behind that offensive line.
Taylor under the center, and we got the power I formation, 3 backs behind him. And there's a handoff to Smith, and he powers ahead for the first down.
We talked about this before, what Elijah Smith has given this team. We used to see a lot of spread, a lot of quarterback runs after dropping back on passes on 3rd and longs, 4th and longs. Last year, as a sophomore, Steve Arnold entrusted Elijah Smith to come out there and be a part of that offense. He has a big body, no fear, willing to put that head down and get the extra yards.
1st and 10 at the Massillon 48-yard line. Taylor back to pass, pump fake, little screen over the middle, and Massillon was ready for that one.
Unfortunately, they weren't able to trick anybody on that play. That's going to be a loss of about 4, possibly 5, about 4 yards, bring up about a 2nd and 14.
Harding looked for that little delayed screen pass, but Massillon wasn't biting on that. Marcus Brown dropped for about a 4-yard loss on that completion. 2nd down and 14. Harding backed up to their 48-yard line. 3 receivers to the top. Taylor drops back, and he's looking left. He's got a man open on the sidelines. And there's a nice move, and that's Ivory out close to a 1st down.
Nice footwork by Ivory, and I can't tell who the receiver is out there, but very smart play by the receiver not to make that block. You could see he had his back to him. The referee was standing right there. He let him go. No block in the back. Way to move those chains. Well, looks like that was a 10-yard gain. He must have stepped out of bounds, but bringing it up to a more manageable 3rd and 4.
10-yard completion from Taylor to Ivory. 3rd down and 4 up to the Massillon 42-yard line. And there's a little shovel to Ivory around the end.
He's got
it. He gets around the end. It's awful close down there.
Looks like
the
they're going
spot.
to give it to him, moving the chains.
1st and 10 Raiders. Tyreek Ivory on the end around.
Tyreek Ivory in game 1 against McKinley showed a lot of speed on those long touchdown plays they have here. They run that traditional jet sweep that we've grown to know from this Harding offense. A nice little flip to the running back in motion. This time the wide receiver coming to the near side of the field. Looked like he had a blocker out there that could have possibly sprung that for more, but gets the 1st down, moves the chains, and a fresh set of downs.
1st and 10, Harding Raiders at the Massillon 37-yard line.
Looks like they're having some issues with the play clock.
I think now we've got it all set. Taylor remains in that shotgun.
Still got that single coverage up top.
And there's a handoff to Brown. Brown bounces it out to the left, looking for the end. And he gets around the corner for a few. Looks like a gain of about 5 on that play.
I like that run by Marcus Brown. He kicked it outside with his speed. Once he realized he had nowhere to go, he got square with his shoulders, lowered his pad level, and pushed ahead for a 5-yard gain. Looks like a 4-yard gain to bring up a manageable 2nd and 6.
Moves the ball to the Massillon 33-yard line. Just under 3.5 minutes to play in this 1st quarter. 3 receivers right for the Raiders, 1 up the top left. Marcus Brown sets up to the right of Taylor. Taylor, a little pop pass over the middle, and looking for Davion Burgess on that one. Couldn't quite haul that one in. Sorry, that was Jamel Anderson, the intended receiver.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. If you see, I'm surprised. Massillon very confident in their corners, even after the touchdown. They're staying with single coverage on the receivers. They've got 2 safeties, but looks like they'd be in cover 2 on the single side, but the triple side, you're going to have at least 2 of those receivers that should be in single coverage, and our receivers have proven through the year if that ball's up there for a jump ball, they'll go up there and get it.
3rd down and 6, Massillon 33-yard line. Taylor drops straight back, looking down that left sideline.
Where's the flag? Does he reach it? He's not. Looks like they're just saying it's incidental.
Looking for Ty Artis down that left sideline. A little incidental contact between him and the defender brings up a 4th down and 6.
I think you're in that position where you need to go for it. You're too long for a field goal, no reason to punt it, have it go in the end zone, end up being a 16-yard punt.
Harding facing its second 4th down attempt in this drive. Drive started back on their 29-yard line. Taylor drops back.
Got him again. He's got him single coverage again.
And that ball's going to be picked up.
They're going to call the flag. They're going to call pass interference. They're going to call pass interference. Yeah, the corner impeded his progress. Or they look like they're going to call offensive pass interference.
It almost looked like Artis gave a little push in the back on his way down there, so I think that may be offensive pass interference on that one.
It looked like the corner had a step in front of him and then kind of stopped to stop his progress. Really thought that was going to go the other way for us.
I think maybe if Artis doesn't put his hands out on that one, then that he could avoid that. I think the hands came up, and that was the call. Massel's going to decline that penalty, and they will take over on downs at their own 33-yard line. Quarterback Aiden Longwell in that shotgun position. There's the give up the middle. And nice defensive stop by that line. No gain on the play.
Looks like we got a Massillon player down.
Looks like one of those interior linemen possibly.
We talked about it last week, it was a little cooler. Last year, these last couple games, we had these real scorchers like we do tonight. Liable to see a lot of cramping up by both sides of these, both players on both sides. Hopefully it's something as simple as a cramp, get some water in them and get them back out on the field.
Looks like they're checking the left knee out a little bit. They're not stretching that out like it'd be a cramp, so hopefully that's not too serious. Clock stopped for the injury timeout. 2:45 remaining in this first quarter. Harding on the 7-0 lead. When play resumes, Massillon will be setting up for a 2nd down and 10 at their own 33-yard line. They got the young man up, but he's not putting any weight on that left leg. Number 69, Dylan Garrettson, the center, injured on that play.
Well, he's listed at 225. His backup, Emmanuel McElroy's 5'11", 330.
Second down and 10. Massillon with the ball on their own 33-yard line. Longwell trying a hard snap down there, trying to draw the defense off sides. Harding staying home. Longwell back to pass. He's looking over here on the near sideline. He's got a man open.
That'll be interesting as this game goes along. You'll see McElroy is also listed as their nose tackle. Big guy like that trying to go both ways as a starter. We'll see how long till they can wear him down. Start getting some penetration on each side of the ball.
Pass complete to number 10, Anthony Pedro. Out to the 45-yard line. We got a, looks like a sideline
warning on Harding.
Yep. Sideline warning on the Raiders.
I see big Alfie Birch down there. Looks like he'd be a good guy for your get-back coach.
1st and 10 Massillon at their own 45-yard line. Longwell with the quick out. He's got number 21
over there.
He's got some running room all the way down inside the Raider 25-yard line for another Massillon 1st down. Pass complete to Andrew Wilson Lamp.
Nice call by Maslin on that play, that quick screen. He just had one man to beat, nobody else over there. Had to wait for pursuit to come chase him out of bounds.
Out of bounds right at the Harding 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Maslin. Maslin with 3 receivers wide right. And that's exactly where Longwell's looking. He's got Ballard again over there. Ballard with some room. Ballard down about the 5 or 6 yard line. 1st and goal, Maslin. Looks like they're going to mark him out at about the Harding 7-yard line. 1st and goal, Maslin. Longwell stays in the shotgun down here. And there's the handoff up the middle. And he gets over for a touchdown.
Yeah, we got a ball game.
Seven-yard run up the middle for number 29, Zion Pfeiffer. Number 89, Alex Bauer on for the extra point. And the kick is up, and it is good, and we have a tie ball game. 7-all with 1:51 to play in the first quarter.
Well, Harding threw the first punch, landed it. Maslin responded with a little punch of their own. Let's see how Harding chooses to respond here. Both defenses have looked pretty decent, as well as both offenses have shown the ability to score. Looks like we got a pretty good game going on for ourselves.
Harding and Maslin, they've put on some barn burners throughout the years.
We'll see how that injury plays later in the game, though. It's a big kid out there at 330 pounds. Now it looks like he's going to have to go both ways at nose tackle as well as center. Let's see how that plays out later in the game.
There's a kick. It's going to be fielded at about the 5-yard line. Looks like Marquand Brown over there. Marquand Brown trying to find some running room, and there's not a whole lot of that to be found. Knocked down at about the 9-yard line. Good coverage there by the Maslin kick team.
Yeah, you want to start getting that ball going north and south instead of east and west. Harding's going to end up backed up in their own roughly around 11-yard line with a long field to go here. Let's see if they can respond to that Maslin touchdown.
Looks like they've got the ball placed right on the 10-yard line. Marcus Brown lined up to the right of Elijah Taylor. We got the man in motion. There's a handoff to Brown. Brown gets around the left end. Brown's got some running room. Got a flag on the play.
Looks like it might be a hold out there on the wide receiver.
And I think that's exactly what we've got out there. Holding play, holding penalty. It's going to negate that 5-yard run on first down. It's going to back Harding up half the distance to the goal.
Well, hopefully that's a spot foul and it'll be from where it occurred.
That looks to be the case. It's going to back Harding up to about the 6-yard line, maybe the 7. Looks like the 7. Net result is a 4-yard loss and a play, 3-yard loss. First down and 13 at the 7-yard line. Taylor back to pass. He got a man over the middle.
Watch it.
And that ball is
dropped.
Almost picked off by Massillon.
Elijah Taylor saw that one-on-one, didn't see the safety coming over the top. He was able to tip it back to him, but at the last second, luckily the defender dropped the ball. That had been a big turnover, deep it down in Raiders territory.
That brings up a second down and 13, Harding's own 7-yard line.
Second down and 13. Lands on a 7-yard line.
Brown lines up behind and to the left of Taylor. And there's a handoff to Brown. He's going to be met in the backfield for a big loss. Take it back to the Harding 3-yard line.
That Massillon defense is coming alive.
Raiders are now deep in the hole at 3rd down and 16 from their own 3. Looks like we've got a timeout on the play.
Well, 3rd and 16 deep in your own territory. Not a lot of plays for a down and distance like this. They've shown the ability, obviously, earlier in the game to find that one-on-one coverage, go up there and get the jump ball. But other than that, we've seen some incompletions, some pass interference, an offensive pass interference, and a ball that was very well should have been picked off. So hopefully Steve's over there getting these guys calmed down, letting them know it's still early, minute 17 left to go in the first quarter. Offense has shown the ability to be able to move the ball. Go out there and calm down, just do what you know how to do and get yourself out of this hole. If you got to punt, let the defense come on the field and do what they've been able to do for the majority of the game, which has been able to really hold them in check other than the last drive.
Third down, 16. Harding at their own 3-yard line. Taylor with the handoff up the middle to Brown. Brown gets it out to about the 6-yard line. That's going to bring up a 4th down and long, and the Raiders are going to have to punt out of their own end zone. Spot the ball at the 5, makes it about a 4th down and 15.
It's another interesting call. I think Massillon took another timeout.
Yeah, you're right. Massillon did take that one. Got to wonder if they're going to come after this one deep in the territory there.
Well, if you saw from the offensive series, you know they've started to get some penetration up front there, and I do believe on the punt that they did muff down there, they got good penetration on that punt there as well. So Harding's got to be aware. There's a good chance they're going to be sending them.
Yeah, the upback did a good job picking that rusher off the last time, or that last punt could have very well been blocked. Kevin Stouffer on to do the punting. He is deep in his own end zone. 4th down and 15. Raiders on their own 5-yard line.
They are sending them.
And that punt's going to go out of bounds at around a 40-yard line. Not a bad effort.
Considering the situation he was in, deep in his own territory and deep in his own end zone, getting it off, getting it out there about to, looks like what, the 39-yard line possibly.
Massillon with their best field position of the game sets up 1st and 10 at the Raider 39-yard line. A minute to play in this first quarter. Game tied at 7. Massillon sends 3 receivers down left. Aiden Longwell, the quarterback, once again in the shotgun. One lone setback with him back there. And Longwell sets back to pass. They're going for the home run ball and 1st down. Overthrows Ballard, 2nd down and 10.
A lot of jerseys in that area. A lot of jerseys running after that ball, none in the area where it was at. You saw it go up. You're hoping there was going to be a safety back the way that ball was overthrown, but no harm, no foul. Brings up a 2nd and 10 here. About 55 seconds left in the first quarter.
Ballard's broken free on a couple of patterns. That time looked like he was covered pretty well. Longwell on 2nd and 10, steps back again. Again, he's looking deep down the left sideline for Ballard once again, and again he overthrows him.
Looks like he had a safety back there in the middle of the field, but the safety let the receiver get behind him. Obviously, Ballard is one of the quarterback's favorite targets tonight.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10, and I got to believe this is 4-down territory for Massillon right now on the Harding side of the field.
Yeah, you can see a little momentum shift here as Massillon came down with that score, was able to hold Harding to a 4 and out and get the ball in good territory.
And Longwell steps back once again. He's being forced out of the pocket. Got a lot of pressure out there. He's looking down. He's going to throw that ball away. 4th down and 10 coming up for the Tigers. We have flags on the field.
See what this flag. Was he over the line? Or a legal man downfield, it looks like they're going to call. Assume them to decline that, take the play, bring up a 4th and 10.
Looks like Harding will decline that penalty, bring up the 4th down. Massillon came out this series, tried to get it all back in one big chunk. And they're going to go for it on 4th down and 10. This is a big play for the Harding defense right here. Longwell trying to draw the defense off sides. They're not biting yet. And Massillon's going to call a timeout and talk this one over.
It looked like Raiders called that timeout. They're going to want, this is a big play, 4th and 10. No mistakes on this. This is a heartbreaker. You give up a 4th and 10 like this. You start to see, as we talked about, the momentum starting to switch over to that Massillon side. Defense can come up with a stop right here. That brings the momentum right back to the Harding side going into the beginning of the second quarter.
And yes, that was a Harding timeout. Both teams have used 2 timeouts so far. There's 40 seconds left in the first quarter. And we are tied at 7. Massillon will be facing a 4th down and 10 at the Harding 39-yard line when they come back out on the field.
Really surprised with the size of that offensive line. You haven't really seen Massillon try to run the ball a lot. They've really been trying to go to that receiver downfield, and in all honesty, with not much luck doing it.
Big play for the Harding defense, 4th down and 10. Longwell back to pass. He's looking long once again, and he's got Ballard open over the middle, and the ball comes loose, and it is scooped up. Looks like they're going to call him down right there. Big 4th down play for Massillon, 1st and 10 at the Harding 15-yard line.
Tough play there. Ballard's has been his target all night, 4th and 10. I think everybody in the stadium knows where he's looking. He runs that post over the middle, just threw a straight rocket at him, able to make the catch. Big play for Massillon.
There's a handoff up the middle. That picks up about 3 or 4 there.
Number 6, Terrence King, the ball carrier.
Terrence Keys, the running back on that play, and he checks out for this play. Brings up a 2nd down and 6 at the Harding 11-yard line. And that's the end of the first quarter, and we are tied at 7, but Massillon is knocking at the Harding door. And we're ready to begin the second quarter. Teams switch fields, switch ends of the field. Maslin now heading towards the south end. It is 2nd down and 6 at the Raider 11-yard line. Ballard lines up to the left. He's the one to look out for. Longwell takes a snap. There's another handoff up the middle to Keys. Keys pounds ahead to about the 7-yard line.
Thus far, Harding's been able to really control the running game from Maslin. Where they've been getting gashed at is with those pass plays. It's like Ballard's going to come down here to the bottom of the screen. Third and 3.
3rd and 3 at the Harding 8-yard line. Longwell with the give up the middle, and he breaks free. That's number 29 for the touchdown, Zion Pfeiffer. And Maslin at 11:22 of the second quarter takes the lead in the ball game.
All comes back down. They had him 4th and 10. In the situation they needed him. Maslin was able to respond with a big play. Gain of 20 yards down the middle. They took that momentum, drove it right down the field in the end zone for a touchdown. Looking to go up 14-7.
Number 89, Alex Bauer, on to attempt the extra point. It's up, and it is good. 14-7 Maslin with 11:22 to play in the half. And now we'll see if that Harding offense can respond. This is the time they really need to do that.
Well, it's all going to start here with the kickoff. What really changed the whole field position was that kickoff returner. At some point, you cannot. This Maslin team, is too good, too fast. You cannot continue to run east and west. At some point, you've got to get those shoulder pads square, and you got to start heading north and south for positive yardage.
Ty Artis back deep for the Raiders on the right hash mark, setting up inside his own 5-yard line to wait for this kickoff. That kick's going to be handled by Marquand Brown at about the 14-yard line. Marquand Brown looking for some running room. Might get it around there right in. There's a big block in the middle of the field.
And there comes a penalty flag.
And there's a flag. I'm not sure what was wrong with that hit, but it looks like they're going to call a block in the back. I don't think it was that big block we saw. It was something else.
Yeah, they got to tell that's a hold. That's a block in the back. You're correct.
And that was a pretty nice return by Marquand Brown, but that's going to be brought back a few yards on the block in the back on that kickoff.
Once again, the Raiders are going to start deep in their own territory.
Looks like they're going to start back on their own 11-yard line this time. 1st and 10 Harding at their own 11. Taylor back in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his right. He's got Marcus Brown. Marcus Brown with the handoff. Bounces off one tackle. Forces ahead for about 5 yards. Nice first down run for Marcus Brown.
And a nice little piece of running there. Was able to kind of dip, dive, and find a couple yards. Get 5 yards on that carry. Bring it up to a 2nd and 5.
A lot of ball game. A lot of half left here. Harding doesn't have to get this all back in one big play. 5 yards here, 6 yards there, and all of a sudden they're knocking at the door one more time. This time Brown lines up to the left of Elijah Taylor. We've got a man in motion. That's Ty Artis in motion. And there's a handoff once again to Brown. This time Brown is met in the backfield. It's going to be dropped for a yard or two loss. Take it back to the 15, make it 3rd down and 6 coming up. Looks like Burgess and Ivory coming here to the near sideline, along with Brandon Arnold, 3 receivers to the right. Oh, just overthrows. Looking for Ivory right there, just out of his reach.
Hey, you see what they had going there. Brought Ivory back, hoping to get the speedsters to the ball with some space around him. Maybe make a guy miss, break off something big there. Unfortunately, it ends up 4th and 6. Puts the Raiders in another position to punt.
Kevin Stouffer back out to do the punting. 9:35 to play in the half. Stouffer sets up about his own 3-yard line. Again, punting deep. And Maslin has been bringing the rush on these punts. And looks like they're setting up the return this time. Stouffer with a low line drive. That ball is fielded at the 42-yard line by Ballard. Ballard gets it across midfield to about the Raider 45-yard line.
Maslin's going to start out with good field position inside the Raiders 50. Now this is where you really want to, the defense has got to step up here. You're down 7 with 9 minutes left. They score another time, they go up 14. Remember, Harding started out with the ball, so Maslin's going to get the ball back at the half. You let them score again, you start putting that game out of reach. So time for the defense to dig deep. We need a 4 and out here, get the offense back on the field.
Maslin 1st and 10 at the Raider 49-yard line, and a little anxious over there on the right side. That's going to give Maslin 5 yards right off the bat. 1st and 5. Take it up to the 44-yard line. A little eager on that right end over there. Number 9, Jaden Ballard down here, but he's looking for the screen. Screen out of the backfield. He's got some running room. That's Keys. Keys inside the 30.
Nice hard run by Keys there, taking that screen, making a big play out of it. A lot of black jerseys around the ball, but you got to wrap. You can't just put the shoulder on him. Got to make sure you wrap him and take him down.
A screen pass from Longwell to Keys takes the ball down to the Raider 29-yard line. 1st and 10 Maslin at that point. Ballard and Wilson Lamp lined up down here to the right. And there's a handoff up the middle to Keys once again. Keys bangs ahead to the Harding 24-yard line. That Maslin running game starting to take hold now.
Yeah, the size up front's really starting to take over, starting to control the line of scrimmage, opening up those holes. 4 or 5 yards a pop on the run game now, but Harding can't forget about Ballard out there. He's shown to be a dangerous weapon all night.
2nd down and 6 at the Harding 25-yard line. And again, the handoff up the middle to Keys, and again, he bangs ahead for 3 more. Down to the 22.
Favorable down and distance for the Maslin Tigers here at a 3rd and 3. That offensive line's started to really get a push up front, so you can go either way here. I think this is 4 down territory for Maslin.
They bring in the bigger back, Zion Pfeiffer. And the handoff is to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer gets around the end. Pfeiffer down to the 15, inside the 15, down to about the 10-yard line where he's met. That's going to be a first down, Massillon at the Harding 10-yard line.
Yeah, I thought you'd take the big guy, go straight up the middle, but they ran him off tackle there. Nobody out there to meet him until about 7-8 yards downfield and another first down.
Ball marked at the Harding 11-yard line. Massillon has a little room to get a first down here. Keys back in the backfield with Longwell. Ballard lined up wide left on the far side. There's the handoff to Keys, and this time he's met in the backfield. About a 2-yard loss for that Harding defense on that play.
A lot of penetration there. Looks like Massillon might have went to the well a couple too many times there. Nobody fooled on the Raider defense on that play.
Making a 1-yard loss, second down and 11. Keys remains in the backfield, set up behind Longwell. Longwell looking left, he's looking for Ballard over the middle, and he's got him for the touchdown.
Pitch and catch. Saw the one-on-one there with Ballard. He played that slot inside receiver. Simple slant across the middle. Ballard's proven to be a player out here. Nobody was going to stay with him one-on-one. Simple pitch and catch from the quarterback to the receiver. Another touchdown for the Massillon Tigers.
Ballard's a good-sized receiver at 6'2", 180.
Also got some speed.
Does have some speed. Got them long strides. Bauer on to attempt the extra point. And it is up and good, and Massillon is out to a 21-7 lead with 6:26 to play in the half. And Harding needs to get something going before they go into the locker rooms at halftime. Like you said, Eddie, Massillon gets the ball to start the third quarter, so.
Yeah, you really want to see a response from the Raiders right here. You know, obviously from the standpoint of winning the game, but also just to show the heart. You know, you knew this was going to be a tough game coming in. You got a team like Massillon coming in here as a coach. You really want to see your team fight. You want to see them, you know, never give up, put that will in. Offense comes back. I wouldn't mind seeing them go up top again. We've shown that we've got the receivers that are able to go out there, win those 50-50 balls, and also have the speed to get open. Keep them off their feet. They know we like to run the ball. We're trying to kick it outside, try to hit a couple things up the middle, stretch that field, start pushing those linebackers back, get them away from the line of scrimmage to be able to open up that run game.
Marquand Brown and Ty Artis back once again to field the kickoff. Artis will be on the near hash marks. Marquand Brown goes over to the far hash mark. Number 42, Magnus Haynes, on to do the kickoff chores for the Massillon Tigers. And that kick's going to be handled by Artis. He's going to let that go out of bounds. And there's a break for Harding. He's going to give them good field position to start this drive.
Yeah, a little breathing room. I think they've started their last two drives around their 10-yard line. Really, you know, changes the whole perception of the game when you're punting from deep in your end zone or around the 5-yard line. Massillon's been starting on our side of the field the last two possessions, short field to drive, and with an explosive offense that they've shown to have, you know, just playing right into their hands, opening up for the run or the pass.
That's going to allow Harding to start on their own 35-yard line. And again, compared to the last two possessions, Harding starting on their own 10-yard line the last two times in the shadow of their own goalpost. A little bit of space now. Taylor back in that shotgun. There's a pass. Oh, Ivory can't quite hang on to that one. He had Ivory for a moment out there.
Looked like he turned to run before he fully secured the ball there.
Second down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Clock stopped at 6:21 in the second quarter. Looks like Elijah Smith in there this time with Taylor in the backfield. You got three receivers left. And he's going to try the swing pass out to Smith. Smith shakes one, and he's kind of brought down in the backfield. No gain on that play. Maybe a loss of one on that one. Loss of 2 on that play, actually.
They brought in the big back, tried to hit him out of the backfield there, hoping that they'd lose sight of him, thinking he was staying in as a blocker. Really would like to see them try to stretch the field a little bit.
Brings up a 3rd down and 12. Harding at their own 33-yard line. Taylor drops back, looking deep downfield. He's looking for Brandon Arnold. Can't quite get him on the sideline.
They had double coverage over there, tried to throw it up, hoping the receiver could either make a play or possibly get a pass interference, but perfect coverage by Maslin there. Safety came over the top, corner had him covered underneath. Nowhere to really put the ball on that one.
It's going to bring up 4th down and 12, and Kevin Stouffer on one more time for a punt. Maslin's big play man, Jaden Ballard, back to field this punt. Line drive punt, sails over Ballard's head. What a nice punt. Oh, that's going to go all the way to the end zone.
It's like that golf shot, you're hoping
Yep.
it kicks right and it ends up kicking left.
Little ground fade on that one. We needed the ground hook. That's going to bring the ball out to the 20-yard line for Maslin. They'll set up 1st down and 10. Under 5.5 to play in the half.
But not bad. You see the difference, you know, when you start out on a decent part of the field versus the 10. You know, you're giving them the ball down at the 20-yard line. Yeah, we would have liked to see a nice little roll out of bounds inside the 5, but we'll take the 20. It's better than giving them the ball on your side of the field, you know, with your back already to the end zone.
Let's see if Maslin tries for the quick strike here. Ballard lines up at the top on the left. Keys in the backfield with Longwell. And Longwell's looking left. He's got a man open on the far sideline. Shakes one tackle, powers it out to about the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. Longwell finds Jaron Hodges out there on the far sideline. Takes the ball out to the 38-yard line of Maslin. Ballard coming down to the near sideline on this formation. This time the handoff is up the middle to Terrence Keys. Keys breaks a tackle. Brings out almost to midfield, out to about the 48-yard line, close to another Maslin 1st down. Looks like he may be just a yard short. Make it the 47-yard line, where it's going to be 2nd down and 1.
Well, you can really see what that passing game's done for Maslin. Really got Harding back on their heels right now, guessing. They're gashing them on the pass plays as well as the run plays.
Jaden Ballard wide right. Wilson Lamp up at the top. Looks like Pfeiffer back in the backfield. High snap, Longwell handles it. He's looking down that far sideline. Maslin looking for some pass interference there, but again, I tell you what, looks like they're letting him play on the outside.
Well, it looked like that was an uncatchable ball. The quarterback was under a lot of pressure. Had to get rid of that. Surprised that he was able to get away the ball that he did. A lot of pressure coming from his left side. The Raiders' right end, it looked like, came in on a strong blitz. Let's see if they go back to one of those quick screens.
High snap and the handoff to Pfeiffer.
Nice open field tackle.
And we got a flag on the play. It's a late flag.
Looks like they're going to call it unsportsmanlike on someone. Looks like it's...
Boy, Longwell did a heck of a job jumping up to get that snap and getting it down into the hands of Pfeiffer all in one motion.
You know, a couple of snaps have been high. You've seen him jump on him, but he's been able to handle them. See which way they're doing this penalty, or maybe offsetting.
That's a personal foul on Maslin, and yep, it's offsetting.
Essentially giving both sides a warning there to calm it down.
It was after the play ended, so the play stands, and it is a first down and 10 Maslin. Looks like the ball is spotted at the Raider 49-yard line. 4 minutes to play in this first half. Terrence Keys back in the backfield behind Longwell. Longwell looks left, gets Hodges on the quick out, hit hard at the 45-yard line. Gain of about 4 to play, brings up a second down and 6.
Nice open field tackle out there. They've been pretty successful running these screens all night. Get these athletes out there in a one-on-one situation. Great open field tackle by the defense.
Looks more like a second down and 5 at the Raider 44-yard line. Keys remains in the backfield. Longwell looking back to pass. He's got Hodges again over the middle. It looks like he will get the first down up around the 36-yard line. We've got a Harding player down in midfield on the 25-yard line.
Can't quite gather the number.
Looks like they're going to stretch out a cramp. I'm thinking that looks like that. Thinking that's possibly Wilkins down there, number 21, but I'm not 100% sure. Looks like a cramp.
Yeah, I knew we were bound to get him with the heat that came today, and looks like we're going to get lucky that rain's going to hold off until after the game.
.3:13 to play in the half. Maslin now out to a 21-7 lead. Looking off in the distance at that Friday the 13th full moon over there. Maslin will have the ball first and 10 at the Harding 36-yard line when play resumes. Harding player down the field with what appears to be a cramp.
Good to see him get up, give him the sideline stretch out.
Actually, that looks like number 12, Jordan Brantley.
We assume we'll see Jordan Brantley back in the game tonight. As this game goes on into the later quarters, you're probably going to see a lot more of those cramps. So we'll see. Harding, came out, hit him with that first punch, and Maslin's been on a 21-0 run since then.
Keys remains in the backfield along with quarterback Aiden Longwell. Ballard lines up down here on the near sideline. Ballard in motion. Longwell back, and he's looking that direction. He's looking for Ballard once again, and he's got him. Down around the 22-yard line.
Defense looked like they had him bottled up over there. Good pressure on the quarterback. We had about 3 defenders around him, but kind of a back shoulder type throw there. Ballard was able to come back to the ball for a nice gain and move the sticks for Maslin.
There's that full moon. Harvest moon here on Friday the 13th at Mollenkoff Stadium. Pfeiffer in the backfield now with quarterback Aiden Longwell, and the give is to Pfeiffer up the middle. Pfeiffer inside the 20, spins down to about the 19. Pick up about 3 on that play, brings up a second down and 7. Harding really cannot afford another score at this point, not with Maslin getting the ball back after the halftime show.
No, right now, all we've seen is some extra points, but their kicker looks like he's got a pretty decent leg on him. You assume they're in field goal range at the 20-yard line. You want to try to hold them to a field goal attempt. In order to do that, this 2nd and 7 right here is going to be a big play.
Longwell back to pass. And he's going to be sacked at the 29-yard line.
Good pressure coming off. Nice to see him get up, the quarterback get up after that. Kind of took an awkward hit there to his left leg, pushing them back to around the 29, 30-yard line. That more than likely puts them out of field goal range. 3rd and 16, need a big defensive stand here, but once again, I assume this has got to be four down territory for Massillon with 1:38 left in the half. Harding's offense not showing it the ability to move the ball.
Longwell sets back to pass once again. He's got some time.
He's got room out there.
We got a flag in the backfield. Nice defense on Ballard in the end zone. We may have a hold in the backfield.
That looks like the area of holding now. You decline it, you've got a 4th and 16. I think we've seen this before a little earlier. But I think you have no choice. I think you've got to take that 4th and 16.
Harding defense coming up here big in the closing moments of the first half. This defensive stand here is exactly what could keep the Raiders in this ball game.
You know, it's a toss-up. You might want to move them back. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot. That's a pretty big penalty. You might want to take that penalty, give them a 2nd or a 3rd and 26 or something. Clearly put them out of field goal range, but once again, giving them 2 plays to be able to get in the end zone with 1:23 left. It looks like Harding is going to decline that penalty.
Fourth down and 16 at the Raider 29-yard line. Longwell back to pass. He's looking down that left sideline. Good coverage over there in the left corner, and Harding will take over on downs.
Absolutely what this team needed. They needed that stop there with 1:17 left in the half with 1 timeout left. Let's see how aggressive the Raiders want to be with the remaining time.
Massillon appeared to be on the move on that drive, and a big sack on a 2nd down play. And then good coverage on the final 2 plays of that drive. Harding takes over on downs. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. 1:17 to play in this half. Massillon out to a 21-7 lead. Quarterback Elijah Taylor leads his team onto the field late in the first half. He's got Elijah Smith out there with him on this play. Taylor back, fires over the middle, looking for Tyreek Ivory just over the outstretched arms. He's had Ivory in stride a couple times. It's just out of his reach.
Well, Ivory's obviously shown the speed to be able to score from anywhere on the field. Big playmaker there. Tried to hit him over the middle, make one guy miss, and then it'd be off to the races for him. But 2nd and 10, 1:14 left. Now Harding has to be careful with these passes because they obviously, you get to that 3rd down mark, you're going to want to start letting that clock run if you're not confident. Don't want to give Massillon the ball back with any amount of time to try to put another score up on the board.
Taylor just back to pass once again. Fires the ball over the middle, looking for Brandon Arnold. He's got Arnold at the 41-yard line.
Looks like he dropped
like a
it.
Trap on that. They're going to call that ball incomplete. Harding crowd doesn't like that call, but that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 at the 29-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see what they call here. They're going to run the ball, try to make Massillon burn that last time out, or Coach Arnold got the confidence in the team to try to throw up another pass, get the 1st down, and keep the sticks moving.
We've got 3 receivers lined up to the left. Taylor with the handoff to Smith. Smith trying to get out around the edge. Smith with a little bit of running room out to the sideline.
Going to be a little. He's going to be close.
He gets awful close to that 1st down. That spot looks like they've given it to him. Gets just beyond the 39-yard line.
Are they calling for a measurement?
And it is a 1st down, Raiders. Big 3rd down play. Elijah Smith with the 10-yard gain. Harding with a fresh set of downs, under a minute to play in this first half. Taylor sets back once again, looking off there to the right. Oh, and that is picked off, and there is nothing in front of that Massillon defensive back, and that will be a touchdown, Massillon, exactly what Harding did not need at this point in the ball game. Pass picked off by number 3, Preston Hodges, and he had absolutely nothing in front of him.
Yeah, he tried to hit his receiver on the out route there, corner of the safety there, came up, jumped the route, stepped right in front of it, nothing but him and Green between him and the end zone. That hurts. That hurts. That's going to be 28-7 going in. Massillon getting the ball back at halftime.
Bauer on to attempt another extra point, and we had a flag on the play. I think we've got some movement on the Massillon line on that one. Yes, we do. Back that extra point attempt back 5 yards. Alex Bauer will set this up just inside the 15-yard line, make it about a 25-yard extra point attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. And Massillon now with a 28-7 lead, 39 seconds to play in the first half off the interception return for a touchdown.
Well, 39 seconds left in the half. Harding's got to be on their toes with this. Wouldn't be surprised. This Massillon team's pretty comfortable right now. Wouldn't be surprised to see them possibly try some kind of squib kick or maybe even a traditional onside kick just to try to pile on a few more points before the half.
Ty Artis, Marquand Brown back deep to field the kick for the Raiders. And again, Massillon kicks it out of bounds. Harding will take over on the 35-yard line with 39 seconds to play. Raiders first and 10 at their own 35-yard line after the out-of-bounds kick.
Well, they're coming out in the shotgun. Looks like Coach Arnold's going to try to get the most as he can out of this 39 seconds.
Taylor with the handoff to Smith up the middle. Smith's met at the line of scrimmage. He might have fallen ahead for 1 yard, maybe a half a yard.
Well, they can just let this clock run out and take it into the locker room if they choose to. Lots to talk about at the halftime here. You know, you're 28-7. Doesn't mean you're out of the game. You're down 3 scores. You obviously got to come out. You obviously got to play defense. You got to stop them. No question. You can't give up any points on this initial drive. After that, it's just going back to the basics, doing what you did in the beginning of the game, controlling that line of scrimmage on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball, stretching the ball with your wide receivers, opening up those holes for your running backs. Right now, that's exactly what Massillon's been doing. It's been keeping the Harding defense back on their heels, not able to really attack, and they're gashing them with the running game and the passing game. Got to go in there, go back to the basics, talk about what you did all week at practice, and come out here and start to execute.
Harding lets the clock run down the first half, and they're going to go into the locker rooms on the short end of a 28-7 score. Next up, halftime show led off by the Massillon Tiger Marching Band. So sit back, enjoy that, and we will be back with you in the second half very soon.
And now, it's showtime. Under the direction of Jason Neal, assisted by Jim Smith-Heisler, Chris Nussbaum, Jim Upperdorfer, James Gates, and Lauren Foster. Led on to the field by Drill Major Brandon Johnson and Artie the Tiger, Ben MacArthur. This is the 2019 edition of the Massillon Tiger Swing Band. With the Massillon tradition since 1938. Fanfare, Tiger Rag, and carry on. And now, the Tigers Swing Band presents the music of George and Ira Gershwin. Using one of their classic tunes from 1927, it's time to strike up the band. from the Gershwin Opera, Poogie and Bess, featuring Jordan Higgins on the trumpet solo. We hope you enjoy the sounds of summertime. And finally, one of Gershwin's most famous compositions is a chance for our percussion section and the entire band to showcase their rhythmic talents. Here is the classic, I Got Rhythm. band turns to the music of this punk rock band as the Jonas Brothers recently reunited to create this 2019 hit. Our majorettes and flag lines are featured as we perform I'm a Sucker for You.
gets the ball first to begin this second half.
Yeah, Tom, as you said, Harding was able to come out quick, take advantage of a miscue by the Massillon special teams unit on that punt. Drew a great play up from the line of scrimmage, was able to hit his receiver down deep, one-on-one coverage, went up there and made the play, scored, but since then it's been all Massillon. 28 unanswered points, capped off by that pick six right at the end of the half with 39 seconds. Just when you thought Harding was going to, mount a drive, Elijah Smith with a hard run on 3rd and 10, came around that corner, eked out that first down, and then the first play after that, he threw an interception out in the flats that we returned for 6. Really, really hurt the Raiders' chance of trying to swing some momentum back their way. But it's a new half. They came out strong in the beginning of the game. Well, this is a new game. You're down 21 points. You know how much time you have left. You know what you have to do. You know where their weapons are. They've used it all night. They've used number 9. Wherever number 9 is, that's where that ball's going. They like to throw those screens, and once they get them off balance, they start hitting you up the middle with the big runs from those big backs. We got to use our athleticism up front to get across, to get around the size that Massillon has, as we did in those first few series, and really just get back down to the basics of hard-nosed football and get yourself back into this game. At this point, it's about pride.
Harding's got the athletes, and they've shown in the first 2 games. They showed it against Camp McKinley. They showed it last week against James Rhodes from down in Cleveland. This offense has the ability to score from any point on the field. So a couple of defensive stands and a couple quick scores. Harding can get right back in this ball game, but it's got to start off with defense in this second half right now.
Yeah, at this point, you can't give up any more points. I mean, if you go down there and score, then the defense gives up one. You find yourself right back where it is. I mean, there's no question. Look, we're in a hole right here. We're in a hole, and the only thing that you can do right now is start climbing. Obviously, defensive stands are going to be important, but we've missed some big plays. There's been some plays across the middle to Tyreek Ivory that if the quarterback and the wide receiver would have been able to connect, he'd have either had a first down or the possibility of making one guy miss and take it to the house. Somebody in the first 2 games of the season has shown great ability to score from anywhere on the field, as well as the backs. The running backs got to get more involved, got to be able to get more yards per carry. The line's got to start opening up holes for them. And then these screen passes. If we're going to hit these screen passes out there, if those are going to be basically extended runs, well, we're going to have to get the blocking or be able to hit those screen passes in situations where we can catch the defense in basically a one-on-one situation with our wide receivers out there to be able to get them in space to make some big plays. But hey, it's a whole new half. We know they've got it in it. They've shown the ability to. Now it's just up to them to execute.
Massillon set to receive the second half kickoff. They'll be moving from north to south, left to right on your computer screen.
Number 6, Terrence Keys, and number 8,
Terrence Keys, one of the kick returners back there for Massillon. Keys a big factor once that running game got going for Massillon late in the first half. Noah Murray on to do the kicking for the Harding Raiders.
Nice little spot between the 35 and the 45-yard line there. Let's see if he tries to place it in there, get a quick recovery.
Keys will field the ball at about his 6-yard line, brings it back to the middle. One tackle miss, Keys out to the 30-yard line. Keys breaks another tackle, and he's brought down about the 37-yard line. Big return for Terrence Keys.
Let's see if that's coming back from the spot of the foul around the 9. He moved it up there to around the 25, 24-yard line. See if we got a block in the back or a hold on Massillon. Looks like that's going to be a hold on Massillon and back them up to around the 15-yard line.
And that's something the defense needed. Get Massillon back on their own end of the field for a change instead of out around the 35, 40-yard line.
If you remember, that's how 2 of those touchdowns were scored against the Raiders. They were backed up deep Ended up having to punt the ball from deep in their own territory, gave Massillon great field position.
Looks like Pfeiffer, the running back in with Longwell, the quarterback. Ballard lined up on the far sideline. There's the handoff up the middle to I believe that's Zion Pfeiffer in there one more time. No, that's a different running back. That's Hodges, number 3 Hodges. Hodges, who had the pick 6 to close out the first half scoring for Massillon. Gain of about 5 yards on that play, takes it out to the 20-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Massillon Tigers.
Looks like some confusion on the defense.
Hodges remains in the backfield. He gets it up the middle again. Hodges outside and dives ahead for the first down out to the 26-yard line. And Massillon moving the chains to start the half. 1st and 10 at the Massillon 26-yard line. Jaden Ballard, number 9, lining up down here towards the near sideline. Another high snap. This time the give is to Keys, it looks like. Keys with a couple.
Nice open field tackle. They blitzed to the inside. That outside linebacker was able to come up and fill, maybe from the safety position possibly. I couldn't tell, but nice open field tackle out around the corner there. He had nothing but space in front of him if we would have missed that tackle.
Gain of 1 out to the 27-yard line. 2nd down and 9. As we look towards a possible passing down, keep an eye out again for Jaden Ballard, number 9. He's lined up far left. And Longwell sets back to pass. He's got the screen out to Keys. Keys has a lot of running room. And he takes it out to the 39-yard line. 1st down, Massillon.
Massillon doing an excellent job of using those receivers to clear out the safeties, clear out the corners from that side, leaving that running back over there wide open for a screen with nothing but a good 20, 25 yards between him and the nearest defender. Always going for a big gain, but nice open field tackle to keep him from going to the house.
Number 3, Hodges checks in as running back. To the left of Longwell. Longwell quick out to the left. Looks like a gain of about 5 on that play out to the 45-yard line. Pass complete to Jaron Hodges, number 4.
It's like one of the Raiders, number 21, Marcus Wilkins. Looks like he got his ankle rolled up on that play.
Wilkins coming off field. Hopefully nothing too terribly serious. Second down and 4 at the Massillon 45-yard line. Hodges, number 3, stays in the backfield. Hodges, number 4, in motion. And there's the handoff to Preston Hodges. He's tackled at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play.
Nice penetration off the blitz from the left-hand side there. Marion Perkins there, great penetration, able to track down that running back. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Big play for the Raiders here. If they can get a stop, get a turnover, get them to put that ball away, get the offense on the field, be a big win for them.
Just looking to pass. He's looking over the middle, and that ball is tipped and it falls incomplete.
You know, it looked like he was looking for his man down there, Jaden Ballard, but it looked like Jaden Ballard gave up on the play. He was kind of jogging the route. Got a lot of pressure in there, wasn't able to get the ball off. Exactly what the Raiders needed was a turnover on downs.
Just got a note here. We got about, looks like nearly 500 people in our internet audience out there tonight. That's fantastic. And they are ranging from Anchorage, Alaska to St. Petersburg, Florida. So thanks for tuning in. Massillon sets up the punt, 4th down and 5. It's a high kick, fair catch called for, and nice play there by Ty Artis to keep that ball in check. Harding's going to get nice field position out around the 30-yard line. And that is exactly the defensive stand that Harding needed to open up this third quarter.
Well, 8:22 on the clock, third quarter, down 3 scores. Obviously, the clock's not your friend right now. You don't need to abandon the running game, obviously, this quick, but I think the offense does need to play with a sense of urgency out there. Possibly go to a no-huddle offense, keep that ball moving, keep the momentum on your side, see if you can tire down this Massillon front line.
Harding with 2 running backs in the backfield. Marcus Brown is the deep back. He gets the pitch out to the right. And looks like he gets it back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. Second down and 10. Mention our viewing audience out there. We got Sean Mackey in Anchorage, Alaska checking in and watching tonight. Dave Stevens all the way down in St. Pete, Florida. And got a few hundred people at all points in between, so it's fantastic to have you. We're glad you're with us tonight. Gain of 1 on the play. Second down and 9. Marcus Brown remains the deep back, and this time Taylor sets up under center. And the handoff again is to Brown, and he's met at the line of scrimmage for another no gain. Maybe a loss of 1 on that play. Looks like they're going to step it back 1. Bring up a third down and nearly 10 yards to go. Harding trying to get something on the ground with Marcus Brown deep.
You could tell they came out, wanted to set a tone, kind of go straight at that defense. Nothing fancy, me versus you. You know, establish some dominance up there along the line of scrimmage. Unfortunately, Massillon was well ready for it. Now we find ourselves in 3rd and 9. Passing situation. Let's see if Taylor can connect with one of these fast receivers.
Smith and Brown still both in the backfield as Taylor sets back the pass. And that ball is nearly picked off. He's looking for Ty Artis over the middle. Incomplete. Brings up a 4th down and 10. Harding's going to be forced to punt rather quickly on this drive. Just under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Unfortunately, we've seen that too many times tonight where that ball is just a hair out of the range of the receiver, or possibly the receiver doesn't get his head around quick enough. Plays like that with these receivers, he makes that catch. He's obviously got a first down. When he makes one man miss, you could have a big hitter there.
Kevin Stauffer in to do the punting. Looks like Massillon sets up return, and Stauffer gets off a nice kick all the way back to the 22-yard line, fielded there by Jaden Ballard. Ballard to the far sideline, and he's run out of bounds about the 32-yard line. Stauffer with a very nice punt on that one. We'll see if the Harding defense can hold Massillon one more time and get that offense back out on the field.
Now we have a quick break in the action, Tom. We talk about all the viewers from around the country that are watching this game, possibly around the world. Obviously want to give a lot of credit to everybody behind the scenes at WSCN, the students, teachers, everyone that puts this production together in order to be able to bring Harding football to the alumni, enthusiasts, you know, people that are interested all across the country. A great job they do being able to bring this to you for every home game.
Absolutely, they do a fantastic job. There's the handoff to Keys up the middle. Keys breaks 1 tackle, gets in there, about a 9-yard gain. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 1 out around the 40-yard line.
Now Harding needs another stop. So far, no harm, no foul. Haven't given up any points, but haven't been able to score any points. Clock down to about 6:20, 6:21 left in the third quarter. Obviously a major sense of urgency to get some stops, look for some turnovers, strip the ball, interceptions, whatever you can do to get that ball back.
Longwell with the quick pass over to Ballard. Ballard working around, and nice open field tackle there, but I think he'll get just enough for a first down. He only needed 1 yard, fell ahead to about, well, that spot looks awful close, and it is a first down.
Ballard also a nice job by staying in bounds, keeping that clock running.
Ballard will line up far left on this play. Preston Hodges in the backfield with quarterback Aiden Longwell. 1st and 10 Massillon at their own 41-yard line. And There's a handoff to Hodges up the middle. Hodges breaks the tackle. Hodges in the secondary, and Hodges is checked down. Oh, still dragging people all the way down to the Harding 20-yard line.
Hodges got some speed. Low to the ground, but little legs, but he can get those things turning. A lot of power from him as well, taking those defenders with him probably another 15, 17 yards downfield.
First down, Maslin, all the way down to the Raider 20-yard line. And there's a handoff to Hodges once again. This time he's met at the line of scrimmage. He maybe looks like he fell ahead for maybe a gain of 2. Looks like the referees have that spotted at the 18-yard line. Second down and 8 coming up.
They've got Hodges listed at 5'8", 200-pound senior.
Second down and 8 behind the 18-yard.
Second down and 8 at the Harding 18-yard line. And there's the handoff to Pfeiffer, and he's met in the backfield. Nice play there by that Harding defense. Brings up a 3rd and long. No gain on that play. Actually may have lost yard. They're marking it back to the 19. Brings up a 3rd down and 9.
Nice play by the Raiders there. Pfeiffer, another one of those big running backs, low to the ground, listed once again at 5'8", 200 pounds. Just real hard to take somebody like that down, especially when they get that speed and the momentum starting to go downhill. But great play by the Raiders there to stop him for a possible loss, bring up this 3rd and 9.
Keys in the backfield, and he's a 5'9", 190-pound running back.
That's going to go
out of bounds.
More pressure by the Raiders. They're going to bring up that 4th and 9. They're about the 20-yard line, so that would make it roughly about a 37-yard field goal. If you're not here in Warren, I don't know if you're aware, there's a pretty good wind going out there. You can see it's kind of swirling according to the flags on the field. I think this might be 4-down territory for them.
I don't see a kicking team coming on, so big defensive play for Harding here. 4th down and 9.
Another opportunity. Now watch Ballard. Last time they were down there, he ran that slant over the middle. Nobody was home.
Long roll back to pass, and that's who he's looking for.
Him again. Looked like a...
And he's got Ballard in the end zone for the touchdown.
A little bit of push off there by Ballard. The referee didn't feel that it was enough to call, but nevertheless, that's another 6 for Maslin, going to their main target, number 9, Jaden Ballard.
And that takes the score to 34-7, Maslin. Bauer on once again for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. 35-7, Maslin with 3:31 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Now Maslin's come out. They've done what they needed to do. You know, they've really shown some real dominance on the offensive as well as defensive side of the ball. Took the first shot from Harding and the first turnover of the game, but since then scored 28 unanswered points. Running game's been working for them. Passing game's been working for them. You know, this is one of those games that you learn from. Look down the crowd here. I see a bunch of our little Raiders running around watching this game. They'll play on Sunday at Canfield. You can make it out. It'll be at Canfield Stadium. Come cheer on the young guys. Hope to play at this stadium one day, but hopefully they're paying attention as well. You know, and they realize that, hey, not every game is 56-0. You know, sometimes you get the big bully to come into your house, and sometimes they give it to you. The biggest thing is to see how you respond from this. There's going to be, what, another 8 games after this going forward? You want to see how your team responds from something like this.
Ty Artis and Tyreek Ivory back, looks like, to field this kick. And, on the bigger picture, Maslin's 1 score away from making this a continuous clock.
See that ball get caught up in the wind there.
Ivory at the 15-yard line, breaks it back into the middle, gets it out across the 20. met hard there, taken down about the 23-yard line. Taylor back in an empty backfield. We've got a man in motion. There's that little pitch. And that's going to result in about a 5-yard loss. Looking for that end around. Tyreek Ivory once again trying to get that little shovel pass going there.
Yeah, Massillon really having their way up front right now, getting a lot of penetration, and it doesn't matter what you try to run. If you can't stop them at the line, it's not a pass, not a run, not an end around, nothing's going to work for you. And as you saw in that play, as soon as he had it, he was 4 yards in the backfield with a hand on him.
Loss of 6 on the play brings up second down and 16. Harding back to their own 18-yard line. Taylor pass, he's got a man over the middle, and he had him. Could not haul that one in. It looked like Ivory once again couldn't quite haul that one down. Brings up a third down and 16.
Harding finds themselves in a 3rd and 16.
Taylor drops back. He's got the screen pass, and again, Massillon is waiting on that one. He gets Smith, but he's met immediately.
Yeah, well-disciplined defense there. Hoping to suck in some of those defensive linemen, maybe get some of those linebackers to come up, thinking they got a free lunch, dump it over the top of them for a big game, but wasn't able to trick the Massillon defense there. They stayed home. Hit him for a loss of 2 at the line.
Brings up a 4th down at about 15 yards. Stouffer back to kick, and again, deep in his own territory. Low snap, gets it out. That ball takes a Harding bounce. Massillon's going to let this roll dead. It's going to get back to the 38-yard line. Massillon will set up 1st and 10 right there with 1:47 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
Well, with 1:47 left in the game, Harding down by 28 points. You still want to see your team fight. You still want to see them finish this game strong.
Going to mark that ball at the 37-yard line of Massillon, 1st and 10. Terrence Keys back in the running back slot for Massillon. Longwell back to pass. And throws that one away.
I'm surprised to still see Massillon throwing the ball.
Second down and 10. 37-yard line.
Second down and 10 on the 37-yard line.
Looks like they're going to put a safety over here on Ballard's side.
There's a handoff to Keys up the middle, and Keys breaks through, and he's going to take this one 63 yards for the Massillon score.
That's the 3rd back they've used tonight, along with along with number 3 and then that number 29. All of them have had some success on the ground tonight, some pretty decent runs. It was unfortunately just a matter of time before one of them found that big crease and broke it. And that right there is probably going to seal the game.
We're off the extra point. It's up good, and it is now a 42-7 Massillon lead. Clock will start running continuously at this point, with Harding being down 35 points. And you got to wonder if that last pass he threw to try to find Ballard, that threw it out of bounds, that pass was just there to set that run up.
Yeah, you know, as I said, I was surprised to see that they were still passing the ball. But obviously, you know, Massillon, you know, great players, well-coached team. You want to continue to keep that defense off balance. You know, keep them thinking. You know, traditionally you think, all right, start running some clock, throw that pass in there. Harding's defense obviously isn't going to forget about Jaden Ballard out there. And next thing you know, running back finds that quick hitter up the middle. Once he gets past the linebacker, safeties are vacated. It's off to the races, 60-yard touchdown.
Ty Artis and Tyreek Ivory back to receive the kick. A minute 33 to play in the third quarter. 42-7, Massillon Tigers leading the Harding Raiders. And again, the clock is running with the 35-point lead. Kick fielded by Ivory about the 10-yard line. He bobbles that. Ball still loose, and he gathers it in. Harding ball about the 18-yard line.
Now with a running clock, 42-7, it'll be interesting to see if we start to see some of these younger guys get into the game like we did last week when this score was going the other way to Harding's side.
I'd like to see that running clock in Harding's favor, but if there's any good news, maybe it'll get us out of here before the projected weather gets here. We are hearing some reports of some bad weather off to our west. Wind has picked up a little bit here in the second half. There's a handoff to Smith. Smith looking for some room inside. Gets a gain of about 3 or 4. Looks like a gain of 5 on that play. Second down and 5 out to the 23-yard line. First team still on the field down there, so yeah, you got to wonder at what point we start pulling those guys out and giving some of the reserves a time to play.
You know, we talked before too. You take Elijah Taylor, Elijah Smith, I believe. They had a couple more that we had talked about last week that are just sophomores last year, saw a lot of playing time. This year they come up as true starters, as juniors. You know, the team's got a big future ahead of it. You're going to have games like this. You know, you're playing a great team. You know, Massillon is known to give Harding games, and Harding's been known to give Massillon games. Sometimes it goes in your favor, sometimes it doesn't, but these are the games you learn from. Unfortunately, you know, you play a game like we did last week against Rhodes, not a real lot you can take out of that game. You know, Rhodes was just overmatched man for man last week. And they knew coming into this game this week it was going to be a lot different going against the Massillon team. So, hey, sometimes you got to take this whooping, build some character from it, and go to work on Monday and practice to make sure that something like this never happens again the rest of the season.
Elijah Smith at the 2-yard run out to the 25-yard line. That play ended the third quarter. We go into the fourth quarter. Massillon on top of a 42-7 lead over the Harding Raiders. Harding's going to have the ball third down and 3 at their own 25-yard line to begin the fourth quarter. First team performers still on the field.
Third down and 3. The ball goes to
Smith remains in at running back on this 3rd down and 3 play. Taylor with a quick pass over the middle. He finds Ty Artis. And it doesn't look like he had enough for the first down on that.
Maybe a couple yards on that short.
number 17, Williams.
Looks like they're marking that ball at about the 26-yard line.
Third down and 2. The ball goes 26-yard line. The Raiders number 20, Cameron Stone. Cleveland Tigers number 19, Steve Williams.
That's going to bring up a 4th down and 2 at the 27. Kevin Stauffer back in to punt for the Raiders.
Anybody watching this game not able to watch the Indians? It looks like the Indians are also in a delay, bottom of the 3rd, tied up 2-2 against the Twinkies.
Big series for Cleveland here this weekend with the Twins.
3.5 games back from the 3.5 games back in the standings with the Twins, but I believe they're only maybe a half game back in the wild card standing.
It's a pretty tight race between the Indians, the A's, and the Rays for the wild card. Half game between all 3 of them.
Tonight's winning number 50-50. 155474.
Stouffer with the punt, and that almost blocked, barely gets that off. Low punt, gets a Raider bounce. Gets down to the Massillon 39-yard line. And we have a man down on the field. We have a Raider down on the field, back around at 22.
155474.
Now the clock will stop for injuries. So is dinner on you tonight, Tom? You got the winning 50-50 number?
Well, you know, it's a bad night when you got a 6-digit number, and I'm out after the first call.
I'd have to check my wife to see if we won, and suspiciously, I don't see her down there anymore. She did mention to me if it started raining that I would have to Uber home.
Looks like they're stretching out another cramp down there. Fortunately, nothing serious looking. Let's see who that is here. Looks like that is like that was Amarian Perkins. Cramped up a little bit there, but he's off the field doing well. Clock running at 10:50. And we now see some new players in for Massillon. Backup quarterback Zach Catrone in for the Tigers.
As we start to wind down, hard not to, for us up here in the booth not to start thinking about next week against the Austintown Fitch. Obviously, it'll be a sentimental game between these two teams with the loss of Coach Annarella. Obviously, means a lot to this city as well as to the township of Austintown.
Second down at 9 at the Massillon 40-yard line. Zach Catrone taking over the quarterback duties.
Bring up a 3rd and 7 here for Massillon. at their own 42-yard line. Looks like that is a majority of the second teamers in now for the Massillon Tigers.
Patron's back to pass. Fires it way downfield. He's got a man open, and he connects inside the 5-yard line.
Great pass by the Massillon quarterback there. What do we say, Catrone?
To number 80, Austin Browley.
Catrone put great touch and took one heck of a hit from a Raider defender that was coming in. Still able to drop that ball over the top. Great touch, way to hang in there by the young man.
All the way down to the Raider 2-yard line, where it'll be first and goal, Massillon. 8:50 to play in the ball game. And there's number 26, powers it in. Trying to find that young man's name on the Massillon depth chart. I don't see a 26 on there. Apologies for that. At any rate, it is now a 48-7 Massillon lead. Alex Bauer in for yet another extra point attempt. Kick up and good, and it is now 49-7 Massillon.
8 minutes, 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Raiders 7, Tigers 49.
Raiders defense with a couple stops early in that drive, and then Catrone with the long pass to Browley down to the 2-yard line. Massillon powers it in from there.
Yeah, not a lot we can really say. You know, sometimes it goes like this. Staring at that scoreboard, you see that 49-7 score. Obviously not what the players, coaching staff, fans, you know, not what anyone expected coming into this game. Always knowing Massillon's going to give you a tough game. But the way the Raiders look, specifically in that McKinley game, you know, they did end up losing by 3, but there was a lot of positive things that were taken away from that game. Specifically the 340 yards passing by Isaiah Taylor, Elijah Taylor, something that you haven't seen from a Harding quarterback. We're used to having a good quarterback. You remember a guy named Lynn Bowden used to play here, but that was a different type of player. It was more of a drop back, run, you know, make something happen. And when you saw their ability to be able to throw the ball the way they did to several different receivers downfield, gave you a real feeling that this offense has the ability to be really scary, because we've been used to having the great running backs. You know, from LaShawn Daniels up to last year with K-Ron. And unfortunately, though, Massillon came in here and they had one goal and one goal only, and at this point they're executing on all cylinders.
Massillon kick finds its way into the Harding end zone for a touchback. Harding get the ball first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. 8:17 to play in the game. And again, this clock will be running continuously once Harding snaps it.
You know, you try to put a finger on something. Okay, well, what went wrong? And you know, from our vantage point, I'm not sure you can really say what went wrong. I can tell you what went right for the Massillon team. You look at their starting offensive line. You've got 250, 320, 225, 290, 305. All of their backs averaging 200 pounds. I mean, they've got some real size on that Massillon team. And they were able to really impose their will across the line of scrimmage this tonight. Not much you can do. When you control the line, you control the game.
Swing pass out to Elijah Smith. Smith gets a gain of about 6 out there, 26-yard line. Looks like Elijah Taylor is still in the ball game. That Harding first offense still out there trying to get something positive to happen. There's a handoff to Smith up the middle. Breaks to the outside. Smith, a little bit of running room. Out to almost the 50-yard line. Nice run there by Elijah Smith.
And just to add insult to injury, remember I mentioned the beginning of the game, I believe it was number 77, I believe, for Massillon, Emmanuel McElroy. He's their starting nose tackle, 330. Well, the starting center at 225 went down. McElroy went over, putting 330 on exchanging that 225 pounder for a 330. You know, I give him a lot of credit. With a big body like that, I thought they'd be able to wear him down in this hot, humid summer night that we had, but he proved to have the endurance, be able to control that line of scrimmage all night, and you see the result of it.
High snap to Taylor, hands it off to Smith. Smith gets dropped for a 2-yard loss, back to the 41-yard line, brings up a second down and 12. Clock continues to run, 6:25, 6:24. Two receivers right, two receivers left for Harding. Smith still in the backfield with Elijah Taylor. Taylor looks to his left. And that was a hard hit, and appears to be, thinking that's Ty Artis, and boy, he took a smack over there, Ed.
Yeah, that ball kind of got hung up there, a little slow to get over there. That corner safety was able to really just key in on him. Good, hard hit, nothing illegal about it. It's a part of football. Unfortunately, you just hate to see when a guy goes down.
Actually, that was not Ty Artis. I see Ty Artis walking over here towards the sideline, so I'm not sure who that might be. We'll try and get a number for you. Taylor trying to hit that quick out, and the Massillon defender saw it perfectly, timed it perfectly, got there at the same time as the ball, and that's just a big league hit right there.
Yeah, and obviously in films they've noticed that, you know, he likes to do those quick hitters, those outs. Before the half, he tried to throw it. Taylor tried to throw that out pass that was taken back for 6 right before the half. Really kind of the nail in the coffin of this game. But they've really been keying on those short passes. Whether it been the screens, we've tried to run a couple screens to get these guys in some open field, and Massillon's been very disciplined, stayed home, made the play for a minimal gain and many times a loss.
Still working on the Harding receiver over there. Don't have a number yet, so I'm not sure who that is. He's sitting up now. That's a good sign.
Looks like he's up. Is that 6 or 8?
That's, I wonder if that's...
Burgess or Perkins, it looks like.
Davion Burgess.
Yes, Davion Burgess, another one of those kids from last year that got a lot of playing time. Really showed some great signs of running the ball last year. Gets his chance this year as a junior to step up in a starting role. Looks like he probably took a shoulder pad right to the ribs there as he went to turn around. Hopefully it's just a bruise. Tonight they're going to soak a lot of things. You know, egos as well. Hopefully that's all it is, and we'll see this young man back in the game next year. A lot of potential out of Mr. Burgess.
Brings up 3rd and 12 at the 41-yard line for Harding.
I'm sorry, they just corrected that. That's Jamel Anderson that was injured on the play. Senior.
Taylor looking long down that left sideline. That pass is complete at the 25-yard line. Ty Artis over there on that reception.
Same play that he scored on. Same situation. Quarterback throws up a 50-50 ball. Ty Artis went up there and took it away from him.
First down Raiders at the Massillon 21-yard line. 5 minutes to play in the game. There's the handoff to Smith. Smith tries to bounce it outside to the right. And that is strung out. He may have picked up a yard there, falling ahead for one, up to the 20.
Smith trying to hit the outside there, really not at his game. He's more of that, north and south runner. Get behind that big, powerful body and just unload, get running downfield, and tough kid to bring down. Running east and west, make it a little too easy on the defense, but hey, you got to break something here. We don't need 2-3 yards. They're trying to break big ones, so you do what you got to do to get the ball upfield.
Second down and 9 as we approach the 4-minute mark. Taylor back to pass. Ball bobbled around and it falls incomplete in the end zone. Looking for Burgess in there. He was double covered. Brings up a third down and 9 at the 20-yard line. 3:40 remaining in the ball game. Once again, a 49-7 Massillon lead, so we're on the continuous clock at this point. 35-point lead gets you a continuous clock in Ohio high school football.
Surprised to still see a lot of the starters out here for Harding.
Yeah, looks like we have a timeout, Harding. Well, fortunately, the weather stayed away tonight. I've heard some reports of some lightning in some neighboring towns. We still have a pretty good view of that harvest moon here tonight. So we'll get this game in.
So it looks like I might be able to cancel that Uber ride home. My wife didn't leave me, luckily. Probably wouldn't be the first time that she's left me in the rain. And
tough night for the Raiders, but don't forget we are back at home next week. We play host to the Austintown Fitch Falcons. We'll be back on the airwaves, so to speak, at that point. So make sure you tune in next week as well. Better days ahead for the Raiders, we're hoping. And as Eddie spoke later, that'll be a sentimental game, as with the passing of Coach Phil Anarella over the summertime. Anarella, longtime coach for the Fitch Falcons and leading the Harding Raiders to the state championship back in the early days of the consolidation of the two high schools here in Warren. So that's a game that's going to mean a lot to both sides of the field that night. So if you can't get down to the stadium next Friday, again, tune in to WSCNTV.com or check out our WSCN YouTube video channel.
it looks like they are heading to the locker rooms. They might call this one. We've been getting reports of lightning in the area. You start to see the Massillon team start to walk towards their locker room.
I think they're going to shake hands, and they're going to end it right here with 3:12 to play. There is lightning in the area. I've seen athletic director Bill Nicholson out there several times throughout the course of the game, and I think he was out there checking weather with the officials. And with some of the reports we've been getting about some lightning to our west, which is behind the home stands, and with a 42-point lead, we're going to call this one right here and get the players off the field, get the fans out of these stands. And if you were tuning in with us tonight, we were very glad to have you. Reports of a really nice viewing audience tonight, upwards of 500 people. And again, I've had some check-ins from as far away as Anchorage, Alaska, and St. Petersburg, Florida. And my daughter studying over in France tonight was tuning in. Then we've got some across the pond as well, so we'll see if that happened. But that's going to do it for us. Harding comes up short big time on a 49-7 loss to the Massillon Tigers. And again, we'll be back here next week. We play host to the Austintown Fish Falcons. Eddie Colbert alongside. Always great to have Eddie Colbert with us.
Yeah, Tom, always great to come to these games. Hey, you win some, you lose some. This isn't something you forget about. It's something you learn from, grow from it, come back better next week.
Once again, if you tune in, thanks for tuning in. We hope you tune in again next time. And as we said, better days ahead for the Raiders, we're sure. Enjoy your weekend, folks. Thanks for coming by. We're going to sign off from here and try and get out of here before the rains come. Have a great weekend, Raider Nation.